My name is Anaya, and before I begin, I want to make one thing clear. This story has no ghosts, no spirits, just a very bad mistake in a very empty place with someone I should have never crossed paths with. Even today, when I hear footsteps at night, my chest tightens because I still don't know if that night actually ended or if it just paused. Chapter 1: The Wrong Turn. Last year, my office friends planned a weekend outing at a resort, far away from the city, near a quiet forest. Everyone was laughing, drinking, dancing, but I've never been a crowd person. So around midnight, I thought, I just need 5 minutes alone, some fresh air. Outside the resort, there was a narrow dirt path leading deeper into the forest. It looked empty, silent, calm. Exactly what I wanted. I turned on my phone flashlight and walked slowly, breathing the cool night air. 5 minutes later, I decided to return. I turned around, and the path behind me didn't look familiar anymore. Okay, maybe I walked a bit farther than I thought, I whispered to myself. But the truth was, I had already lost my way. Chapter 2: No network, no direction. I checked my phone. No service. The forest around me suddenly felt different, quieter, darker, heavier. Leaves rustled in the wind, branches creaked, and every sound felt too close. Stay calm, Anaya, just walk back, I told myself. I walked for a minute, then another. And then I realized I had reached the same place again. I was going in circles. My heartbeat grew louder than my footsteps. Suddenly, something moved in the bushes on my right, a heavy rustle. I froze. But I don't believe in ghosts, so I forced myself to think logically. Probably an animal, a deer, maybe. I pointed my flashlight toward the sound. Nothing. Just darkness staring back at me. Chapter 3: The Abandoned Bus. After wandering for nearly 15 minutes, I stumbled into an open clearing and saw an old, broken-down bus. Windows shattered, metal rusted, a silent giant in the middle of nowhere. It didn't look haunted, just abandoned, which somehow made it feel even stranger. Still, it was the only man-made thing I'd seen in a while, so I walked toward it. The bus door was half open. I slowly pushed it wider and flashed my light inside. Torn seats, broken glass, dust everywhere. And in the center aisle, a bag. A large, heavy backpack. "Hello?" I called out softly. "Is anyone here?" Silence. I stepped inside. The moment my foot touched the floor, crunch. A piece of glass shattered under my shoe. I flinched. And then, the half-open bus door, slowly, began closing on its own. I grabbed it with both hands and stopped it. "Just the wind," I muttered. But the air was completely still. Chapter 4: The Notebook. I moved toward the bag. Something about it felt wrong, like it didn't belong there. I unzipped it. Inside were a blanket, a broken torch, a water bottle, and a notebook. Old, dirty, pages yellowed. I reached for it, but before my fingers touched the cover, I heard heavy footsteps outside the bus. Slow, deliberate, getting closer. My blood turned cold. I crouched behind a seat, praying he hadn't seen the light. The footsteps reached the doorway and stopped. Right there, right outside. I held my breath. For several long seconds, there was nothing. Just silence. Then, thud. Something hit the bus door hard. I jolted, covering my mouth. But I didn't scream. Not even a sound came out. Chapter 5: Written Warnings. After minutes that felt like hours, everything went quiet again. I forced myself to pick up the notebook. On the first page, written in shaky handwriting, "If you're reading this, you're probably trapped too." My spine tightened. The next line, There are no ghosts here, but someone lives in this forest. I swallowed hard. Next line. He doesn't speak. He only listens. Very closely. I remembered the footsteps, the door closing, the silence. I realized whatever was out there was not an animal. It was a man, and he was watching me. Chapter 6. Running for my life. I stepped outside slowly. The clearing was empty, but the air felt wrong. Too still. Too quiet. As I turned toward the trees, my heart nearly stopped. Between the trunks, half hidden in the shadows, a tall figure stood watching me. I couldn't see his face, just his shape. Broad shoulders, long arms, completely still. Not moving, not blinking, just staring. For one full second, we looked at each other. Then I ran. I ran like I had never run in my life. Branches whipped my face. My feet slipped on dry leaves. My breath tore out of my chest. And behind me, I heard him running too. Fast. Terrifyingly fast. I screamed, "Help! Is anyone there? Please!" And then, headlights. A car. On a distant dirt road. I sprinted toward it wildly, waving my arms. The car screeched to a stop. A woman got out and rushed toward me. "Oh my God! Are you okay? What happened? Why are you alone?" I turned around. The man was gone. Just trees. Silent. Motionless. Chapter 7. The next morning. She drove me back to my resort. My hands were shaking the entire ride. When I got home the next morning, I checked my pocket for the notebook. It wasn't there. I told myself I must have dropped it while running. I really did. But when I opened my front door, the notebook was lying on my doorstep. And on the first page, someone had added one more line. "I let you go last night. Next time, you won't be so lucky." I don't know who he was. I don't know why he followed me. I don't know how the notebook reached my home. But I know one thing. The world doesn't need ghosts to terrify you. Sometimes, the scariest thing is knowing someone real is watching you. Even now.